What is up, guys? William here from Fitness for Back Pain. What is up, guys? William here from fitnessforbackpain.com, where I teach you how to overcome persistent chronic low back pain by mastering your mindset, improving your movements, and building smarter strength. Today, we're talking about correcting common poor posture without the posture corrector. Yes, what you see here is a posture corrector. What we're not gonna see in the video is me showing you and explaining to you why this thing is so awesome, because it's not. So today, I'm gonna have you take this thing off, ball it up, and just throw it away. And I'm gonna give you some stretching, yes, I said stretching, and some strengthening exercises that you can do and work into your daily life, work into your already amazing strength training program to correct your posture for good. Now, one of the elements we're gonna talk about is strength training. If you are following a strength training program and your back hurts, if your workouts cause pain, they cause tension, even just thinking about working out with a herniated disc or bulge or fusion, and you're like, I'm not sure where to start on the strength side of it. Yes, I'm gonna give you some really cool exercises that you're gonna do today that are gonna change your life, but you need more than that. If you want to get in the door with finding a good, solid, healthy, back-friendly workout program, check out my free 7-day band and bodyweight variation of a strength training program. You can get that at fitnessforbackpain.com/free week. Let's jump in. All right, so before you get too much into it, we're gonna start with stretching first. Not a huge fan of stretches for back pain relief. This will, in return, help bring relief to your low back, but we're not stretching the low back in hopes of getting relief. Big difference. We're trying to do targeted strategic stretching, and we're gonna start with the foam roller and stick. All you need is a foam roller. I've got this one. You can get on Amazon or Walmart or Target, wherever you wanna go. I'll leave a link in the description box below this video here where you can get a specific roller that I'm using here. Any kind of stick, as long as it's straight and not like, doing something like this, because that'd just be weird. So a straight stick, PVC pipe, broomstick, branch, whatever you have. And we're gonna work on the shoulders and chest area. This is more of like an active range of motion kind of thing. It's not like a push it to the limits stretching type of thing. Grab your foam roller, grab your stick, get into a comfortable position for you. And what I'm doing, the key thing that I want you to focus on is staying in a good position. Typically, our ribs will try to gain more range of motion, more of this, by flaring our ribs. What I want you to do is keep your ribs tucked down. So before you even have your ribs tucked down, make sure your hips and everything in your lumbar spine is in a neutral to you position. So I don't want you feeling like you have to roll your butt and flatten your low back out. You don't have to do that. Find your neutral, brace around that, keep your ribs down, and then we're gonna go through this motion. So grab your stick. You can grab it wide, you can grab it narrow. Just find an area that works for you. All I'm gonna do is extend my arms over my head, nice and slow. And what I'm looking for is that breaking point. So I'm gonna hold this so my mic didn't get weird. I'm looking for that breaking point. When I come here and I start to lose that just passive range of motion where I'm like, okay, I really can't do anything past this point unless I really push into it and allow gravity to pull it down. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to find that place. It could be here, it might be here, it might be way back here. This might not be a huge issue for you. It might be something different that we're gonna address later. Get into a good overhead position and allow that gravity to pull and stretch while maintaining that good healthy position. And then you can keep doing that for about 10 to 15 times as far as reps go. Just like this, hold for a few seconds and then come back up. Make sure everything is locked in around the ribs. All right, so this next stretch you're gonna do is very much a stretch. There's no funny business with this one at all. Once you're in it, you're gonna know you're stretching it and exactly what you're stretching once you dive in. So all you need is a rig. You can find these at any kind of bigger box gym, and you have a barbell. Essentially what you're looking for, if you happen to kind of DIY this at your house, is you want something, some kind of block that's gonna go where your thoracic spine is, basically. So this bar is gonna keep me from going back when I'm trying to stretch, And these rig towers here, all I'm doing is grabbing onto those. So you can kind of get creative with what you have at your house, but I'm gonna show you a very simple way of doing it if you have some kind of commercial access to a gym. So you want the bar to be across your thoracic spine as best as possible. You could kind of, once you're kind of there, you can see if going up or down feels better to you. But essentially, once you're there, you wanna align your pelvis, your hips here, as far as you can, or as close as you can to being neutral and well stacked. Once you're there, we're gonna take our hands and put them back behind us and grab onto this rig. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to push myself back into this bar and really try to bring my ribs down to get into that nice, neutral, comfortable position. So odds are to get into position, you're gonna have to kind of like overextend your low back, get back in there, squeeze and wedge yourself in. But what really gets fun is once you bring those ribs down and you lock that in, you really feel this pulling across your chest. Hang out for a minute, hang out for 45 seconds. You're not trying to go here until your hands go numb. Don't worry about doing it for that long. Pick a time, start there, do 2 or 3 sets of this, making sure your ribs are coming down and you're really feeling that stretch across the chest. All right, now time for the bonus. We did the 2 stretches, and now we're gonna do the bonus reset. This is a huge thing that I try to have people do throughout the day when they're just trying to kind of get their mind back into like being more aware of their posture, right? It's not enough to just stretch. It's not enough to just strengthen. What you wanna do is bring awareness around better positioning. If you do that, you're gonna groove those patterns in your brain to recognize and understand that, man, this doesn't feel right anymore, but this does. One really cool thing that I like to get people to do is do posture resets. You can do this sitting or you can do it standing. I'm gonna take it to the whole body posture reset. So I'm gonna take my feet and I'm going to screw them into the ground. So I'm engaging my glutes, right? So I'm taking my feet and almost like I'm trying to do this with them. I'm not gonna be able to because I want to keep my toes straight, but I'm going to screw myself into this position. Once my glutes are engaged, I'm going to rock my pelvis. So I'm rocking it here, trying to find that good, healthy position. Once that's in there, making sure that from my pelvis to my feet are locked in. I'm gonna take my thumbs, palms open. I'm gonna take my thumbs back, palms up, pull back as far as I can, bring my hands down where they lie, and making sure that my chin is tucked. This is a posture reset. I don't want you to feel like you have to maintain this posture all day, right? Where everything you're doing is just this super rigid, like robotic type of thing. You don't have to do that. What I want you to do, again, we're building awareness using this reset. So you're gonna do this multiple times a day, coupled with the stretching. Now let's jump into the most important part of correcting your posture without a posture corrector, and that is strengthening. All right, so the first exercise, all you're gonna need is a very light resistance band. These are like jump stretch bands. You can get them on Amazon. Again, I'll drop a link in the description box for the band set that I use here in my studio. But the first we're gonna do are band pull-aparts. There's a lot of different ways you can do these. I'll show you 3 quick variations of them that I like to do. One of them is just grabbing the band at a place where it's enough tension for you. And I'm going to bring my shoulder blades back and down, because remember, we're trying to strengthen these posture correcting muscles, the rhomboids, the backs, the muscles that surround the shoulder blades, to bring ourselves back and down so we're not so hunched up and forward. Grab your band. We're gonna do band pull aparts here to the chest. All right, that's one variation you can do. The other 2 are pretty much the same thing, you're just doing it in a different direction. Here, I'm gonna pull away. Just like this. I'll do 7 to 10 of those, switch it. All right, so the second strength training exercise that I love to do, it's with a cable machine. So I have this cable machine here. If you have heavier bands, you can do it with bands, but the cable machine is just awesome. You can do this standing, you can do it on one knee, depending on your sensitivity in your lower back. You might find one that feels better for you. That's the most important thing, is find a variation of this that feels really good to you. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to elbows out, pull this cable towards my nose and then back down, okay? I want you to really lead with those back muscles and squeeze as if you have a pencil or my fingers between your shoulder blades, okay? Let's just imagine shoulder blade, my fingers. And what you're gonna do is you're trying to squeeze my fingers with your shoulder blades. Every time you pull back, you're squeezing and contracting those back muscles. The last strengthening exercise is the shoulder Ys. You're not gonna be able to do a ton of weight. Start light and work your way up from there. You'll be able to swing all kinds of weight, but I want you to keep control and activate these muscles as you're doing it and master the movement and execute them with perfection. So grab your light weight. I've got my 2.5 pound plates here. What we're not gonna do, you're gonna wanna do it. Your brain's gonna tell you to do it, but you're not gonna do it, especially if you have low back pain. As you're coming up to gain that range of motion, you're going to extend at the low back. And then this exercise turns into this. We don't want to pump that low back up like that. We just don't. Start with just your hands. See where you're at. I'm gonna take my hands out here, create a Y as high as I can go, okay? Remember not to hike the shoulders up to try to get this Y done and your neck gets all jacked up. No, bring your shoulder blades back and down, engage them to pull back, come up, pull. Without overextending, go as high as you can, and then come back down. Simply doing it with just your hands might be a workout. It's okay. Put your ego aside. Grab 2.5 pounds. If you can handle the weight, we're gonna go up, pull as high as we can go without extension. Do 2 to 3 sets of that. You can do them between 4 and 8 times, depending on how strong you are. This is not a heavy weight, low rep kind of exercise. It's gonna be kind of a do as many as you can. Don't be discouraged if you can only do like 8 good ones with just your hands. It's a very isolated exercise, but do them now, add them into your program. And if you do, your posture is gonna turn around with time and you won't have to use that posture corrector anymore. That is probably the best start that you could have when it comes to correcting your posture without using a posture corrector, any kind of posture brace. So we're going to stretch, we're going to strengthen, and then we're gonna start a full-blown strength training program, but a program that is not just chest dominant, doing chest exercises and push-ups and bench presses and chest flies and all these things. If you have low back pain and you're trying to figure out what exercises you should start with, how to just design a program or kind of get an example of what it would look like, grab my free 7-day band and bodyweight training program. If you have bands at the house already, you don't have to get anything. You can just start doing it right away. You can get it at fitnessforbackpain.com/free week. Back pain friendly, fusion friendly, herniations, bulge, rupture, degenerative disc friendly workouts that you can do right now. fitnessforbackpain.com/free week. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next episode.